Welcome to class. Hey students, this is Wellness Gardening. I am really excited to welcome you to this semester. My name is Anna Maria DeCipris. You can call me Professor Anna Maria. And I'm very excited to be able to share this class with you, even if it's virtual. Wellness gardening is such a powerful tool in many lives, and it has truly changed my life in so many ways. A little bit about me before I dive into some content. My husband and I live out here on our homestead with our baby who just turned a year old. We're here in Anza, which is an hour east of Temecula in the high desert. And we're right next to Anza Borrego State Park, which is amazing. It's so beautiful. My husband and I are educators. We've been teaching for a long time in the realms of growing food, urban farming, sustainability, permaculture, beekeeping, herbalism, and we're also this year embarking on our first official adventure into larger scale farming. I've spent the last 8 years working in different aspects of farming, but all in the urban environment. And so now we're taking our skill set to the next level and scaling up a bit. Also on our homestead, our farm is called Desert Bloom Farm, if you want to learn more about us. But we're raising animals, goats and chickens and bees, and also growing a lot of medicinal plants, which is what I'm passionate about as an herbalist and someone who cares very deeply about people having access to health. A little bit more background about me, which will all make sense why I am very excited to teach this class. I studied to go to medical school. My undergraduate degree was pre-med, and I did apply to go to medical school a few times. And although I didn't get in, I say that I'm happy about that decision now. When it happened, when I wasn't accepted after a couple rounds of applications, I took a pause and did some traveling and came back to my life and made a drastic decision to step into agriculture, specifically working in a garden that was designed for young children. And up until that point, I hadn't had much growing experience except for helping my dad with our family garden growing up. But it was a time in my life where I needed a change. I had spent probably a good 5 years studying really hard. And after not getting into medical school, was extremely disappointed in feeling like I had worked so hard and was not given an opportunity to then go on to the next step in my dreams. But life works out the way it's supposed to if we let it. You know, at that moment in time, I could have tried to apply again. I could have done a lot of things to stay in that path and to most likely end up pretty miserable today. But I listened to something inside of my heart that said, maybe just try something different for a minute. And taking that step into managing a garden is what has unlocked pretty much all the joy and success I've had in my life now. After taking that job, I moved to California and was immersed deep into running a garden and also a citrus orchard of about 300 trees, and creating curriculum for students from Orange County from grades K through 6. And luckily at the time, I had also been given the opportunity to take a permaculture design certification. And that permaculture design certification really gave me an excellent foundation to then further investigate all the different aspects of what it means to garden, what it means to grow food, what it means to have sustainable food systems. Much like horticulture gives us a good foundation in the art of caring for plants, permaculture gives us a more global perspective and also helps us see how nature teaches us in her infinite wisdom how to do all of these things how to do all of these different methods harmoniously, basically. I'm going to be weaving a lot of permaculture into this class this semester, so it'll all make sense. But I took that permaculture design certification, and at the core of that experience was learning how plant life is so profound and learning how nature is truly remarkable. Some of you, from what I've seen in the discussion so far, are already avid gardeners, already horticulturists. A lot of you are already into nature, which is amazing. And there's probably a reason why you're in this class, because you have seen the intelligence that comes from the plant world. And so luckily, we're like this group of plant lovers in this class. And if you're not sold on being a plant lover right now, I bet you will by the end of the semester. After I spent a couple years at that first job caring for this garden, I then moved into beekeeping full-time. And then I moved into urban farming. I started a project in Orange County, a new farm, and from the ground up, basically from a dirt lot into a thriving urban farm for a community. That experience put everything I had learned into permaculture into play, because permaculture is not just about growing food, but it's also growing community. And what we'll see in this class a lot is how the human-nature connection is really the key to our joy, our happiness, and our ability to thrive in these times. So at this urban farm, I was able to design the space, create crops or plant crops, and then welcome the community in. And the model was really interesting in that it was specifically for these residents of a particular housing community, which are now called agrihoods, which is a really beautiful model now to incorporate farming into housing developments. But the most powerful part of that experience was seeing how farming truly transformed families. And this was within a season, a growing season, that I saw families who were coming into the farm weekly truly shift in not just their not just their like energy, their physical appearance, but the way in which they were interacting with each other, the way in which they carried themselves, the way in which they were radiating joy. A lot of these families were, just like middle class, hardworking. Some were even below middle class. And, just trying to get by, get to work, take care of the children, the whole routine. I saw a lot of moms really stressed. I saw a lot of children pretty disconnected from the natural world. I saw a lot of electronic use by the kids. And the dads also seemed to be just not really fulfilled. Working jobs that were probably decent paying, but we're not like really fulfilling them emotionally. So the way the model was set up was these families would come and spend time every week working with us in the farm and and working with other families as well. And again, within a season, we're talking, 3 to 4 to 5 months. After getting to know these families, I saw such a huge shift in the community at large. Working with plants is one of the best ways in which we can tap into emotional and physical healing and wellness. Of course, as I was sharing with you, my passion for these things, originally started in a quest for medical school. But after working at the urban farm, I'm just going to wait for the wind a minute. After working at the urban farm, I was wanting to know more, like how come these plants or working with plants is providing such transformation